For the longest time here at Siman Brothers Outdoors, Isaac has been stuck with the curse. But that all ended on October 19th, 2021.
Yeah, right?
Ever since that day, he has been an absolute machine in the woods, harvesting 6 bucks in 5 different states, and adding a public land black bear for good measure. The following episode is a recap of his 2022 whitetail hunting season, which was highlighted by his harvest of an old farm legend on January 30th. Our story begins on Ohio's opening day of archery season in September.
Well, here we go. First sit of the season. Heading out on these beans. Leaving my hunting transportation behind. Perfect thing to get in here and take a little quick sprint down the road. It's quiet, tent free. Hunting over some beans tonight. See how it goes. See you up in the stand. It is September 29th and we're in a stand in Ohio. First sit of the season. It's gonna be a little bit of adjustment getting used to a tree stand. Hunting over some still pretty green beans tonight.
From there, we fast forward to our public land challenge that we hosted in mid-October. 3 different YouTube outfits shared a deer camp in Indiana, and Isaac came home with the biggest buck of the week.
I wore that hat out west.
You are wearing a good hat.
The most disgusting thing.
I do enjoy the hat you're wearing.
I killed this. Yeah, I was wearing this when I killed my buck. It's got one stand on it.
See, I write on all my hats like the deer that I kill.
After Indiana, Isaac embarked on a solo trip to Pennsylvania public land, an area we're familiar with. We spend our springs there hunting turkeys and fishing for trout.
Alright, we're in it now. On the gravel dirt roads. Google Maps has no idea where we're going. So I think we're in the right spot. I'm actually about 20 minutes from where I'm going. Pretty familiar with this area, so we don't need the Google Maps anymore, but getting into the hills. This is hill country, central Pennsylvania. Hopefully these deer are moving. Hopefully I can find them. Hopefully they're not all little 6 points like they say that that's all Pennsylvania has. So we'll see how it goes. I'll be hunting in probably an hour. Yeah, I'll be headed out, getting a couple miles in deep tonight, back in these hills and mountains, and find me a nice big mountain Pennsylvania buck. Stay tuned. All right, here we go. I'm here. I'm at the pull off. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. Got a long road, but it's gated. No motor vehicles, so I'm gonna take my bike on this road, but it looks pretty rough, so I don't know how far I'm gonna make it. But I got about 1.5 miles on this road, then another 1.5 miles on a trail. So might be able to cut that 1.5 miles with the bike. I'm gonna try it. I brought it. We'll see.
There she blows. Just a regular old mountain bike, but I'm gonna be carrying my bow, pack, stand.
What started out as a deer hunting trip quickly turned into a bear scouting mission, as the archery season for them had ended a week prior. Our next segment is back at the home farm during the peak of the rut in November. Isaac has a great encounter with a buck that we called Perfect, a younger deer with unlimited potential that we had agreed to pass on prior to the season starting.
All right, I'm set up. And oh my gosh, is it beautiful out here. November 15th, a little bit of sleet coming down.
With the peak of the rut behind us, we took our yearly trip to Camp Gore in West Virginia, where we spent the week celebrating the life of Grandpa, and did a little bit of deer hunting along the way.
Thanksgiving, Chris. Like, not really Thanksgiving. But Thanksgiving for deer camp.
That's pretty nice. Thanksgiving. What are these?
Unyeasted cookies. Yeah, Isaac explained how these grow in a jar. You scrape some of the top off, and then you put them in the microwave or the oven. And
As far
then
as I know. Shucks, I just kind of hold them.
he said that they were alive.
They got first prize
They're
in the
living
cookie
cookies.
contest.
Living cookies. Mountain 8 pointer. A little broken. Fresh. Oh, he must have broke that.
He must have broke that rolling down this hill. That thing's fresh. Yeah, need a little more rub. More salt.
Everybody smile at it.
5.3K.
It turned off.
Mid City.
Liver snacks.
As we entered the week of gun season here in Ohio, the home farm was at a crossroads. We had a large crop of up-and-coming bucks using it on a regular basis, but our philosophy at home is to only take the mature deer off the farm. Coming into the season, we had 2 bucks that we assumed would be our top targets. The buck this episode is centered around, and another that we called Stanky Jr. Stanky Jr. had been a resident of the farm his whole life, easily recognized by his bum right rear leg. We had had multiple encounters with him in 2021, and he was far from camera shy. Throughout this summer and early fall, we would occasionally get trail camera videos of him, and even though Isaac, Ethan, and myself spent many hours in the tree stand, we never had an in-person encounter with the old warrior.
Jimmy, how many times have I mentioned tonight that my deer has showed up while I'm here at this wedding? Dang it, Matt. You're lucky I love you.
Our last proof of life came on November 9th as he worked a scrape in one of our best locations on the farm, forever disappearing afterwards. We assume he got killed by another local hunter, but with the condition of his leg, predation is also a possibility, and he joins the club of the deer that forever got away. Late season in Northeast Ohio is an amazing time of year to be a deer hunter. The weekend warriors are all done for the season, and as long as you can stand a little cold weather, the deer hunting action is off the charts. Usually we are reserved to chasing does and getting some meat in the freezer, but this year Isaac still had his buck tag. and with the weather cooperating, he set up in one of our best blinds and made some late season magic happen.
Well, early season, I wish. Late season fun. January 29th. Final week of the season, officially. And we're still out here bow hunting. I'm headed in tonight in the snow and the wind and the mud. It's outrageously muddy, but this is late season bow hunting in Ohio. It's not as cold as it could be, so that's good. It's in the upper 20s. Me and Caleb both going out tonight, hoping for some target bucks to show up. Got some bucks in the area that are interesting looking. Nothing monstrous, but this time of year, let's hopefully get it done on something decent.
At this point, we are going to pause the story and hit the rewind button, all the way back to the fall of 2019. Little did I know at the time how significant these trail camera videos would become. On November 24th of that year, I decided to save some clips of this inconspicuous young buck, as I always do, not knowing it would become the beginning of the legend of the 5x3. The next summer, the 5x3, still unnamed at that point, was a regular on one of our satellite farms over a mile away from the home farm. But as often happens, as soon as the rut rolled around, the 5x3 made his way home and spent all of November and December chasing does and carrying on as all 3 or 4 year old bucks usually do. Isaac ended up having a November encounter with him that fall from the stand on the same ridge he would eventually harvest him from. During the fall of 2020, the 5x3 shared the farm with two other bucks that we have made legendary deer stories about, Dad's Buck and Stanky Leg.
Probably the fourth or fifth biggest deer, maybe sixth on our hit list in this area. It's an 8-point. Isaac had an encounter with him during the rut, and we had plenty of trail camera pictures in the summer on this farm, and then in the fall on our farm, and then apparently in the winter he's back here to this farm. But
Finding shed antlers of up-and-coming bucks is how legends grow, and that summer 5x3 was once again back in his home range over a mile away from the family farm. Once again, come fall, the 5x3 moved back into his breeding grounds and established himself as one of the dominant bucks on the farm. Right before Halloween, I had one of my best nights hunting the farm in recent memory. My encounter with the 5x3 that evening is one of the best encounters we've ever had with him up until that point. For a long time I regretted not attempting a shot that evening, but fate played out in the end. Alright guys, October 29th. It's windy, it's rainy, it's nasty. It's deer killing weather. From the perspective of a hunter who films everything that happens throughout the fall, this hunt was perfection. It's not uncommon for Isaac and myself to make 50 plus sits a year, but certain hunts get referenced and or retold over and over again, and this is one of those hunts. That fall, I was fully committed to another buck and made the decision to let all the other mature deer go. Ironically, Isaac had sit in that exact same spot 2 years prior and passed on a marginal shot at the deer I ended up harvesting that fall. After that October encounter, the 5x3 finally had a name, and also started the tradition of breaking off his tines and eventually his main beams. He remained extremely nocturnal, as a lot of mature bucks often do, but he was far from camera shy, and he would almost always pause for a second and pose for the trail cams. With Isaac and myself tagged out, all of our intel gathering and scouting that late season was the homework for this year, and even though I had one of my best years shed hunting, I wasn't able to find either one of the 5x3's antlers in 2021. This summer we ended up with exactly one trail camera video of the 5x3 in his summer range. As bucks get to an advanced age, they move less and less, and he was no exception. Until the rut, that is. The fall of 2022 saw the 5x3 moving more than ever. He was quite obviously one of the most dominant bucks in the area as he broke off his main beam in early October. The 5x3 was daywalking more than ever in 2022, and it almost cost him on November 13th as I had a brief encounter with him at less than 100 yards cruising for does.
Alright guys, real quick interview because I feel like it could be a real eventful night. I'm in a brand new spot that I hung a stand in today, and I've always talked about hanging a stand here. It's the perfect northwest wind location. I have fresh winter wheat planted off to my left, and a huge thicket in front of me and a huge valley behind me. And I can see a long ways, and the leaves are crunchy. And it's prime rut. It's November 13th. It's the anniversary of the Ned Day, next biggest buck. So we got a lot of guys out hunting tonight, and first sits are always a lot of fun. So I'm excited. I think I might be in a lot of deer tonight, so I don't know how much I'll be able to do any talking. But it's about 3 o'clock, and it's time to go.
Somehow the 5x3 once again made it through the rut and all 3 Ohio firearms seasons unscathed. But with how often he was daylighting and the amount of ground he was covering, it was only a matter of time before one of us got an opportunity. And when that happened, Isaac made sure that he made the most of it.
Yes. 5x3. Our target buck. 5.5-year-old deer, we think. Oh, the shot looked bad. Looked like I cracked him right in the shoulder. The arrow flew out after like 50 yards. 30-yard shot. Did exactly what we wanted to do, but oh, I cracked him right in the shoulder. It was loud as can be. Usually I would say that's not good, but I thought I heard him crash. I can see him 150 yards away, dead on the ground. Oh my gosh, I gotta get eyes on him again. Well, it's a little lighter out here, outside the Taj Mahal blind. But yes, yes, yes. What a long season this has been. And I'll be honest, pretty much given up on it. I haven't hunted much in the past, I don't know, month and a half. Pretty much since right before Christmas I stopped hunting, but we've been getting this buck all over the place. Literally all over the place. North, south farm, further down the road. Caleb's found some sheds of him over the years. We think he's a 5-year-old buck. He's a little bit broken up. He's definitely not a scorer, but he was our #1 hit lister on the farm in the past few months. I just smoked him at 30 yards,
I hit him in the shoulder. I was really worried about it. Running off, arrow flew off. I don't know if we're gonna be able to find it with this snow, but the arrow flew off like 50 yards after the shot. Looked bad. For 5 seconds, I was in a world of hurt. But then I heard just a crazy crash. And I look with my binoculars, and like 100, maybe 125 yards away, he's laying there dead. So I must have punched right through that shoulder, which I've done on a couple deer I've shot with this setup, but this, it's awesome. It's a big relief. It's 2 years in a row I've shot what we think is a 5-year-old plus buck. It's not going to be a scorer at all. Caleb's out right now, and hopefully he's having some good luck. There's like 25 minutes of daylight left. But we're going to do some celebrating tonight. January 29th, 1 week left in the Ohio season. Got it done. Yes. It's been a long 5 months of hunting. Starting in Utah in August. I got deer coming. I got a buck coming in. Hold on. Well, as I'm walking out, can't say how thankful I am for all these opportunities I've gotten this year. Didn't put any booners down, but this is my 4th buck, 4 different states. It's been a heck of a ride this year. I was able to get 3 of them on film. Fortunately, the one in Utah I wasn't able to get fully on film, but the ones in Indiana, West Virginia, and now Ohio, I was able to get them all on film. And this has been a long season. Off season's gonna be nice for some rest. But stay tuned for the recovery and the party in the shop afterwards.
Man, that's straight.
Where are you?
Oh, wow.
Here he is. There he is.
Came waltzing right into there.
Well, he was chilling for like 20 minutes. He ducks like, a foot.
The shoulders back. Or do you wait till
No, I just shot him.
I can't believe he came in. He's looking at you though. Oh.
See, that was just high shoulder. It didn't even look like you.
It was back shoulder.
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
If I would have just seen that video without slow motion, I'd been pretty scared.
I was terrified. I think that's him, huh?
Oh yeah, that's him. He might be 6 years old. You might have shot yourself another 5 or 6 year old buck again.
Another 6-year-old 100-incher.
Oh man.
What are we doing, Dylan?
Hood rat shit with our friends.
Hood rat shit with our friends. Late season, January 30th. Damn.
We're going to the scene of the crime first. Don't think there's going to be much of a blood trail because we've got a dusting of snow since the shot, but we're going to go look.
There's the arrow.
And that's a broken broadhead.
Good. There's a couple inches. No, not really. It's not great.
You didn't see him go down. I see blood right there. You just stared on it.
I guess we can just follow the blood trail from here.
Yeah, the shot was over that way.
I didn't follow the leader tonight. Broke off.
There's the opposite side. You buried it up to what there? Yeah,
So when we get
probably
closer to
opposite
deer, we have to go to one light. And it's never going. There's 3 different lights.
Another
He's stoned
exciting-
dead.
Another exciting track job by Isaac.
He didn't die far from your buck last year. Honestly, we're really not that far at all from where your buck died back here.
When the buck dies in sight, the tracking party is usually pretty anticlimactic. Throw in snow and frigid temperatures, and we don't usually stay in the woods very long.
Well, not much to say besides we've been chasing this buck all year, and he's been showing up sporadically all over the place.
I mean, he was a preseason number 2.
Yeah.
Ever since day 1, he was a preseason number 2, and
It's just a big old bodied buck.
yeah, we don't know if he's 5 or 6, but he's either 5 or 6. I mean, he's old, mature.
If he's even, he would be pretty nice, but not gonna score, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Last
I mean,
week of the
this
season.
time of year,
6 days left. Big old mature buck. I'll take it.
didn't resort to the crossbow either.
No.
Took the real bow.
Used a real bow. And he only went, I don't know, 100 yards maybe.
Out of the new Hawk blind too.
Yeah. Blind's sweet.
That blind is awesome. This is, hold on, this.
The 5x3 may not score in the record books, but for the second year in a row, Isaac was able to take a truly mature buck off the home farm.
Bitch, Friday morning?
It's a wrap.
It could be raining, so I can yeah, man. Thing ain't no fucking 150. Gonna sack him. It's cool. Yeah, you could sell that for 200.
My site is a single pin adjustment. Just came from one man.
Yeah, you could sell at least all the accessories for.
There he is. To the left. You can't see him. There he is. Another exciting track job by Isaac.
He didn't die far from your buck last year. Honestly, we're really not that far at all from where your buck died last year.
No.
He's dead.
Body's bigger than I thought it was going to be.